The power of a magnifying glass. Now, a long time ago I heard a quote from Matt Fury, and it still stuck with me. And in this little story he was just saying that a lot of people will begin maybe January. We're coming up to Christmas now, so January isn't too far away at the moment. And you will find in January people will have a huge list of goals that they'd like to achieve. They'd like to make more money, they'd like to lose weight, they'd like to have a better relationship with their wife or their kids, or they'd like to go on that holiday they've always wanted to go. So they could have maybe 20 or 30 goals coming into the year that they're trying to do maybe in 2021. But you and I know that how many of those will they actually do? They'll be lucky if they actually get one of them done, because they have their attention so kind of spread out. They're not really focused on one thing, and they're not actually committed to doing that one thing every day. So there is a good chance, because they are trying to put out 30 fires, they're never going to focus on putting out one. So I want you to think about that today. If you are somebody who is trying to chase after 3 or 4 different rabbits and you're not getting any because your attention and your action and everything is all over the place, so maybe it's time to narrow in that focus. Like as Matt says, you might look at a magnifying glass as just a kind of a small thing, but if you had it on a hot day and you focus the rays of the sun on it on a tiny piece of paper, you will reach the point where that piece of paper will take light. Now, if you don't do anything and you just keep continuing focusing that magnifying glass on that piece of paper, you will find that little piece of paper will probably catch light to other things around it, and then before you know it, maybe the room could be on fire. And if you stay there long enough if you stayed long enough in that room, there is a good chance you'll probably burn down the house, and from that you'll probably burn down the whole street. Now, what he was trying to explain in that kind of analogy is that if you kind of focus on one thing and do it over and over again, it kind of bleeds out into other activities. I remember when I started off, one of the hardest things I found doing was creating or writing a daily email. It took me for the longest time to actually kind of get into a routine, but I found that when I did knuckle down and I started creating those kind of daily emails, it did bleed over into other parts of my life. When I was showing up and not giving myself an excuse not to do today's email, it meant that there was probably a good chance I was also going to show up and do today's blog post. There was also a good chance I was going to take my runners off, put them on, and actually go for a walk that day with the dog. You will find that these kind of, little routines do kind of spill over, because if you're not letting yourself off, you're not giving yourself a get out clause in one particular thing, it does kind of bleed out into other parts of your life. So you'll start showing up in more places, you'll start taking more action. But again, if you just focus on that one particular thing, you will find that probably whatever goals you had will start to come through without you actually taking action on them, because that kind of one action you're doing is attracting all those different things, or making you, for example, if I was writing my daily email, it would make me a better writer, it probably would make me a better content creator, it would probably make me a better podcaster, because I'm coming up with stories regularly and examples and all those different things. I do apologize, we're just going through past that building site again, so the diggers are busy at it again. But you will find that that little thing from creating that daily email is probably making me more creative. It's probably forcing me to come up with more kind of content ideas, so that I find writing blog posts easier, creating podcast episodes easier, or all those different things, because that little thing is spilling over into all the other parts. So if you are somebody who is trying to finish this year off well, and maybe your head is all over the place, you're running in 3 different directions, you're kind of being hypnotized by all the bright shiny objects that are coming into your inbox, you're being distracted by books and products and all those different things, why not focus on one specific part of your business, and just like that kind of magnifying glass, just keep focusing on it, keep doing it over and over and over again, and you will find that, again, like these kind of habits that you need to take, it will kind of become a habit after a period of time. You will find a time when you'll find it very easy to do whatever task that you need to do. If you found it hard to go for your morning walk, there will come a time when you're doing it so many times that it actually becomes routine. At the moment, I probably can't lie on now beyond 7 o'clock every morning, because I usually would take Summer out for a walk, and I would usually record 1 or 2 of these podcast episodes. And in this past couple of months, that has become a routine, and if I don't do it, I do feel guilty later on in the day that I haven't done my walk and I haven't recorded my podcast episodes. And again, this simple thing of showing up every morning and recording 2 episodes is really beginning to rack up those episodes. At the moment, I think I've got over 220 something episodes of this podcast, because I am just focusing on that kind of small that magnifying glass. I'm just focusing on this one thing of showing up every day. Now, I mightn't be doing it as much in the emails at the moment, but I am showing up in this. But as I said, if you are having problems getting things done, maybe just throw away 99% of what is distracting you and just focus on that one thing. And as Matt said, when you do focus on it long enough, that little piece of paper will catch light. You'll start getting results, and those results will spill over, and you will probably, people will notice what you're doing over time, and you will draw that audience to you. But again, forget about everything else out there. Just focus on that one thing and keep doing it over and over again, and you will find that it will become a habit and it will be easier to do, and you will start attracting your audience to it. So give that some thought today if you're kind of all over the place, or you're not achieving as much as you want to. Focus on something small instead. So as always, if you'd like to find this great content, do a search for WriteCome, WriteCome.com. And if you're listening to this as a podcast episode, again, you can hit the subscribe button and I will send all the next couple of episodes on to you. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the little bell button. Or if you want to go over to the WriteCome site, that's WriteCome.com. I've got a lot of great self-publishing courses and a lot of great free reports at the moment. So if you want to go over and even just check out the free reports, head over there. One of the ones I have at the moment is called Words to Wealth, and in it I'm going to show you 10 different ways you can make money from your writing. So if you'd like to try that out, or you'd like to know more about me, head on over there and subscribe. So as always, have a great day, take care, and bye bye.